Disclaimer: the insights and opinions shared on this show are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, we recommend consulting with a qualified professional to better understand your unique financial situation. Welcome to the Investors Playbook Show, where our mission is clear: empowerment through financial education. We firmly believe that financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right that's available to everybody. Each week, we dive deep into the world of finances, breaking down complex topics and making them accessible and actionable for everyone. As we grow this community, we invite you to join us on this journey. Why tune in? Because together, we're not just learning about wealth, we're building a movement, reshaping futures, and proving that with the right knowledge, financial success is within everyone's reach. It's time to get off the sidelines. Let's go.
Welcome to Investors Playbook, episode 20. I'm Cornell Rowan.
And I'm Deshaun Edwards. And we got another good episode for y'all today. Again, episode 20. We've been doing this for, I don't know, what's quick math? 4 months now, right?
Yeah.
Either way, we've been consistent with it, okay? Every week we've been dropping an episode for y'all for the past 20 weeks, right? Whatever that adds up to in months, but for the past 20 weeks we've been dropping consistent episodes, and I say it a lot on the podcast because I really am like proud of the consistency. You know what I mean? So appreciate you for real, Cornell. Episode 20 is just one of those milestone numbers, so I just wanted to make that happen. But with the new year, with episode 20, we got a couple announcements. First and foremost, we have a community that we're growing. And we've mentioned the community before on Mighty Networks. It is a free to join community. And in this community, all we do is talk about finances. We have motivational posts, but majority of the posts are going to be centered around finances, whether it's a post that can either help you, actually your opinion on some recent news, or, talking amongst other people in the group, bouncing ideas off of them. So it is, again, a free community to join. We invite everyone who is just interested in finances. And if you're not interested, but you want to, learn more about it, also join the community. It's a dope group of people to be around. We talk every day, literally, about some type of financial topic. So again, Mighty Networks, you can find it on our Instagram. The link is going to be in our bio. And if it's not in our bio, then it's on our website. If it's not on our website, you can find one of our posts. It's ways to find the website. You can always just DM us too at Investors Playbook LLC on Instagram. So definitely wanted to mention that. Cornell, you got another one for us, right?
Yeah, but just so the link to the website is in the bio. And once you go on the website, just go to join our community, and then it's right there. And that will bring you directly into our free community where we talk about finances. And yes, we do have something else that's coming up. We're gonna host our first virtual workshop. You can get access to this on Eventbrite, or if you message one of us, if you message Investors Playbook on Instagram, we'll send you the direct link to the Teams meeting. And this is on January 24th, and this will be on automation.
Mm-hmm. Let them know the time too, bro. 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, so let's jump into today's topic. All right.
Yeah.
So today's topic is about how the BlackRock just approved Spot ETFs, which is a huge milestone. I'm sorry.
BlackRock approves Spot ETFs?
I could be wrong.
I thought it was the SEC. I think BlackRock.
SEC, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
SEC approved Spot ETFs. I appreciate that. Approved Spot ETFs. And this is a huge milestone for cryptocurrency. So first, let's get into like what a spot ETF is, right? So a spot ETF is where it's basically an ETF that invests directly into Bitcoin. All right, so they're creating something that mirrors the price of Bitcoin. So this makes it more attractive to investors because now you can invest in Bitcoin with it being FDIC approved, which is crazy because a big issue with cryptocurrency was the scams, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can invest into this thing, and if somebody were to steal it, that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. You could put it on a ledger, the ledger could stop working, and you no longer have access to your funds. It's so there were a lot of drawbacks when it came to purchasing cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and I want to say that was one of the uh, most troublesome issues when it came to crypto is trying to make sure that even when it came to transferring, it didn't even have to be scams. A lot of times it could be fat fingers. You have to type in like a long 25 password to make sure that you're connecting this account to this account. You miss one letter, and people have told me stories about them sending their Bitcoin accidentally to someone else because they put a instead of an S, like on their keyboard. And after that happens, like you said, there is no insurance. It's just gone. You can't get that back unless the person's nice enough. Highly doubt it. But if the person's nice enough to say, "Oh, you accidentally sent me one Bitcoin. Let me send it back to you, good sir." Like, nah, it's probably gone. So aside from the scams that people play on people to, get Bitcoin delivered to them, you could also just mess up yourself and accidentally send your Bitcoin to somewhere that you just will never get it back. It was a lot of, I wouldn't even say it was you had to be super technical, but you just had to make sure that you were careful when doing things like transferring Bitcoin from one wallet to another wallet, when moving money from your online platform to something like a ledger, because yes, this is all just data. And if you accidentally put your data or send it to the wrong person, there is no undo button. Like it's gone. So to your point, that the insurance that of Bitcoin, there was none. It's if you accidentally send it, if someone scams you, it's literally that's it. You just lost that. And that goes for a lot of the all the cryptocurrency, really. But with this spot Bitcoin ETF and it being available in your brokerage account, it being FDIC insured, it really does change the game. Like for a lot of not even just cryptocurrency, but a lot of investors in general. Anyone who has been interested in cryptocurrency but was either afraid or didn't understand how to purchase it, this is the one of the best ways to do it. Is now you can do it straight from your brokerage account, from your retirement account, and purchase these ETFs. So it's like you mentioned, Cornell. It is huge news. So
De- Definitely one of the safest ways. And now, think about when it becomes so normalized that people are purchasing it in their retirement accounts. Like 401ks, 403bs, also their IRAs, because now that it's in ETFs and you can purchase it on big name platforms like Fidelity and Charles Schwab, like where
right,
where people where it's normal for people to have their retirement accounts. Think about the exposure that gives to crypto. So what's going to happen when people start purchasing these things in their retirement accounts? What is that going to look like for crypto?
right. What I'm wondering is the purchase of these ETFs going to affect the price of the cryptocurrency?
With
Because go ahead.
with With the holdings, I know with the Fidelity one, FBTC, if you look at the holdings, it says it's 100% in Bitcoin. So I would imagine purchasing the ETF is actually, you're actually purchasing Bitcoin.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I would expect it to affect the price of Bitcoin. I'm not really sure exactly how it correlates,
Right.
but that's just what I would imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's something interesting that I want to look more into. But like you said, if the holding is 100% invested in Bitcoin, Because I know with ETFs, with these ETFs, you purchasing it does not give you a Bitcoin. Like, you're not purchasing the cryptocurrency itself. You are invested in vehicles that track the price of Bitcoin, um, similar to how, and I want to say similar to how the SPY tracks the S&P 500. It's not the S&P 500, but it moves very closely to the S&P 500.
But I think that when you purchase it, it's still you're still buying into those holdings though. So
Got you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because it's telling you a certain percentage of what your money's being allocated into.
Got you. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay.
Right. Because
Cool.
if you weren't actually purchasing those investments, then how are you making money?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, and then I guess we could also just talk about not what the Bitcoin ETF is, but just the ETF in general, in case some of the people don't know how an ETF works, right? So, an ETF is an exchange traded fund. It's very similar to a mutual fund, but it's something you can purchase while the market is open. It is basically a collection of um, assets inside of a single asset. So for Bitcoin ETF, it's going to be, like you said, the Fidelity. Its only asset is the purchasing of Bitcoin, and other Bitcoin ETFs. It might be a combination of things, but basically, an ETF is a combination of stocks inside of a single entity that you can purchase. And similar to a mutual fund, they balance each other out. That's kind of how an ETF in general works, right? So ETFs have been around a lot before, like, this whole Bitcoin spot ETF thing even became available. So ETFs are exactly that. Like, they allow you to purchase a single security or a single asset, but have access to whatever that ETF or that exchange traded fund is invested in. Just so we understand exactly what an ETF is. And yeah, I wanted to make sure that that definition was put out there too. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And all right, so now I guess we can kind of get into like the craze of Bitcoin, like why this is such a big thing. Like some people might not know, Bitcoin started at a very low price. Just
Hmm.
5 years ago, Bitcoin was $3,600.
Hmm.
If you had bought Bitcoin at that time, you would have 10x whatever you put in there. So if you put in $100, you'd have $1,000. If you put in $1,000, you'd have 10,000. If you put in
Right.
10,000, you would have $100,000. So of course, what you put in is what you get out.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's crazy, man. Like Bitcoin is around $43,000 a coin today.
Yeah. It, and this is why we always talk about time in. I guess this could be considered in the market. Either way, it's time in the investment. The amount of time that you put into the investment, because this is not the highest Bitcoin has ever been.
Mm-mm.
43,000 is a crazy number, but just what, a year ago?
Not
No, almost 2 years ago.
November 21st. I mean, November of 2021, Bitcoin was around $69,000 a coin. So,
Yeah,
so of course, after that, it hit a nosedive. I feel like Bitcoin got as low as like 13,000,
yeah. It
right?
went really low, but I mean, to Cornell's point, if you were just putting 1,000, and you're talking about the number you mentioned was you putting $1,000 investment into Bitcoin and getting $10,000 out. Most times you're gonna either continue to put money into something, like, you're gonna dollar cost average, or basically, like, you continuing to put money into something like this would have reaped huge benefits. No one could have predicted the price of Bitcoin. No one knew that it was going to go up to $69,000. No one knew that when it hit $69,000, it was going to go down to $13,000.
So,
So it's like
so no one knew for sure, but there's actually plenty of people that have been saying Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000. There's some people that's saying that Bitcoin will go to 1 million.
right, right. But I don't, with that, I I'm always kind of like, all right, well, makes it what will make it go to $1 million? Right. But news like Thursday is one of those things. Like this
So
actually go
what would make it go to $1 million is demand,
yeah.
especially when they stop making Bitcoin. Because remember, Bitcoin is getting halved uh right now, but then soon, once it hits 21 million coins
Mm-hmm.
acquired, they're going to completely stop making Bitcoin. So it kind of is what it is. And what makes
Right.
Bitcoin so popular is the scarcity of it. You know
Right.
how the US dollar, we could just keep creating more and this causes inflation. You don't have that issue with Bitcoin. You don't keep creating more, we have what we have.
That's true.
So when
That's
the
very true.
demand of Bitcoin goes up, the value goes up because they're not making anymore.
Mm-hmm. So another question, in your opinion, do you think other coins will follow this trend? Like, is Bitcoin the only one that's gonna pop, or you think like those other? And I know like there's a ton of like tiny coins, or I forgot what you call them, but just coins that are not Bitcoin, altcoins. And anything that's not Bitcoin is pretty much an altcoin. Yes, including Ethereum. Yes, including Ripple. All those are also altcoins. You think those are gonna move how Bitcoin is moving, or because Bitcoin is the only one that got the ETF, you think that's gonna be the only one that pops?
I feel
Or
like I feel like right now altcoins are going to take off because with Bitcoin the altcoins kind of follow. But I think in the future, and this is just my opinion, I feel like in the future all those altcoins are going to get cut off. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because it's like, why do you have a need for all these different currencies? And I feel like establishments or businesses like Microsoft, Walmart, they might make their own cryptocurrency, kind of like how we have credit cards now. Like we have a Walmart credit card, we have a Sam's credit card. You see what I'm saying? And they keep it within their institution, where it's like, hey, you get 5% off if they give you certain perks for buying things from them with their credit card. I feel like they might utilize crypto the same way if it really gets popular the way I think that it's going to become popular.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
as far as these no name altcoins that are out now, I feel like they're going to become obsolete.
yeah. I, I just well, maybe even a little over a year ago, I just remember so many people were talking about this virtual world, this and all the coins that were gonna go into being able to purchase things in this virtual world. It was like the metaverse. That's what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
How the metaverse was what everyone was talking about. Cryptocurrency was about to take off because this cryptocurrency was gonna pump the metaverse, and like now, no one's even mentioning metaverse anything right now. You know what I mean?
So are you talking about like Sandbox?
Yeah, those.
So the thing is, when we were purchasing, we purchased some coins in Sandbox and everything. When we were doing that, I didn't have a picture in my head of what Sandbox was.
Right.
But we actually have a business here called Sandbox, and it's a virtual reality gaming center, and it's fun, bro. And it's fun. And if this is like and what I found out is it's kind of like the same company. And if they're doing it like that, I could see them getting big and they're actually becoming like this virtual world where you have to spend these coins in order to get things in game.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not so different than just like purchasing coins in any like a cell phone game or even just like a game on the Xbox. You spend money to purchase bloom coins,
Microtransactions.
whatever. Yeah, like
Yeah.
some kind of coins that you can spend in game. Okay. And
That's how
that
I feel.
I can see that.
I don't feel like it's going to I don't feel like that gaming platform is going to like change our reality. I do feel like, like Apple, how they're making these virtual reality vision goggles or whatever, I do feel like that can get real crazy, man. Especially like if I think they already came out. It wasn't Apple, but someone came out with a virtual reality glasses.
I don't know who came out
I,
with them. I feel like I might
I,
have seen that, but
yeah. So like, just think about having these glasses on, and you are partially immersed into the metaverse where you're walking around, you still see everything that's going around, but you also see things that you want to see. Like you might have like your bank account on the right. You'll be walking around looking like Grand Theft Auto, bro.
I was
Like
like, yeah, you got a
we're
health bar up here. You can see your heart rate. You can see
straight
the
up,
oxygen
man.
level. Yeah.
So the company that is coming out with those glasses is actually Meta. So they partner with Ray-Ban where you can just put on the glasses, and I'm not sure of all it can do, but just think about when it gets like really advanced and developed, man. Just walking around like a grocery store, you're looking at the items, and then the prices just pop up. You get what I'm saying? Because it's linked to the internet. Just like how on our phones we could just go to like the Publix app, and then we could find out how much things cost. Just imagine like us being able to just look at things and just stats from that thing, probably like nutrition facts. You don't even have to pick it up, and it just pops out. You get what I'm saying? Just think about how advanced that this could get, and that's highly possible.
Yeah, and I immediately start thinking about walking around and you looking at someone's face, and then recognizing their face, and then it pops up there. This is their social media. This is how many followers they have. This is what they
Yeah.
do for a living. This is their address. Like, you feel me? That joint would, yeah, that's kind of scary, bro. You put on
It
some glasses
is.
and you walking down the street. Um, and it tells you everything about this person just because facial recognition, we know that's old. That's old
Yeah,
technology.
that's old because you posted a picture of somebody on Facebook, you'll automatically suggest that you tag them.
Yes, you take a picture on your phone, and it's like, is this person? Because you have this
It,
person,
it
bruh.
it
Yeah,
groups all the pictures and videos of that person into
into
one
one place.
group. Yeah, that face recognition is crazy. So just think about how crazy this could really get.
Yeah, yeah. It might be kind of wild, but I mean, that's technology now moves very fast, so there ain't
Yeah.
no telling how fast it'll get here. If it'll be for the public, or is it just gonna be something that you know normal people can't use? I don't know. We're just gonna have to see.
And I feel like
Uh,
it's a compound effect on like how technology grows. Because I feel like the more advanced we get, the faster we grow. Because think about
oh
how
yeah,
fast we can grow now with AI.
yeah. Oh, it's only going to multiply and grow faster. It's only going to grow faster. The amount of things that we accomplish in like it's going to shrink the amount of time it takes to accomplish things, and it's going to continue shrinking until it gets to a point to where technological advances are happening every year, then every month. You know what I mean? It's just like you said, the compound effect.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's wild.
But I
But
know my
oh,
bad.
good.
I know with
Mm,
the ETS, I also wanted to talk about like what happened last week.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because you mean what happened with the ETFs or like with Bitcoin, with the price of Bitcoin?
Well, with both, because you know
Okay,
they mirror each other.
true.
So with when the ETS were approved, so there was a big push upward on price with Bitcoin. I think it went all the way to maybe like 48,000 or maybe 49,000, somewhere in that area.
Hmm.
And then it started to drop
Yeah,
suddenly. I feel like Bitcoin went all the way down to 42,000.
almost. Yeah,
Yeah,
or
so
maybe it did.
I'm sorry.
No, I said maybe it did. Like, I said almost, but it probably like did hit 42,000. Yeah,
Yeah. So I feel like this was a prime example of buy the rumor, sell the news.
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So with all the speculation of the ETS being approved, people were accumulating Bitcoin, accumulating. And then when it actually was approved, there's a huge shoot up to 48,000. And then people started to sell, collect their gains, right? So now
hmm,
we're sitting at around 42,000, and it could go even lower. But what
yeah,
people are speculating is around May, June, somewhere in that area, is when the Bitcoin halving event happens. So they're expecting another rise in price when it comes to Bitcoin before that time. So it may be another buy the rumor, sell the news event at that time, or it could be like what happened with Tesla and just continue to go parabolic. You see what I'm saying? Remember when Tesla split and everybody was really hype about that, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna do that. It's gonna fall. And then Tesla just kept going, kept going, kept going.
Did not stop, bro. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And similar to the Bitcoin, similar to how like a stock splits. And you could correct me if I'm wrong, but similar to how a stock splits, that's what the Bitcoin halving is, right? It's pretty much taking the current number of Bitcoin that's in existence and
Nah.
no, it's not. I'm
Remember
thinking
big
halving is. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bitcoin halving is really for Bitcoin miners. So right now there's a certain amount that people get per something for Bitcoin mining, and that amount is halved
Oh, the
once
amount of Bitcoin that they awarded is halved.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Okay. Is that to, I guess that's to discourage miners from
Uh,
mining?
I don't think it's to discourage. I just think it's to make Bitcoin more scarce, which is what
I see.
makes it valuable. Yeah, so
Gotcha.
that's why the demand will be higher at that
Mhm.
time, and it will and they expect it to increase the price of Bitcoin.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Speaking of that though, like with Bitcoin being on a tear pretty much from like the middle of last year, that is because that's when it was all being talked about. The Spot Bitcoin ETF has been in the news for like 7, 8 months now. And they've been trying to get this approved for a minute. The entire time, Bitcoin was just creeping up. It was creeping up, I think maybe like, what was it, November or December, November? It was, well, early like June, July, it was like around 20,000. December, November, it went down almost to like 15, 16,000. And from there, like it just continued to creep up. It's slowly been increasing. I'm sorry, I'm getting my numbers wrong. I got the wrong year. So June of 2023, it was like around 25,000, and since then it's just been slowly going up because that is when the rumor of the news started coming up that Bitcoin would be approved to sell. The spot Bitcoins will be available for the public, so you can invest in Bitcoin without investing in Bitcoin. And then with these battles with the SEC trying to get it approved, people were catching wind of that news, and Bitcoin was slowly rising. So it went from 25 all the way up to that 40 something thousand number that we saw last week. And I want to say that a lot of people did put a lot of money into Bitcoin right when that happened, like that Thursday when it did become available. And one of the things that we also want to teach and practice is risk. Like basically making sure that whatever you are trading or however you are trading, that you're making sure that you understand risk tolerance, right? um I think Bitcoin is a great investment, and I think that it could do numbers in the future. um but wanting to just make sure that, because we mentioned altcoins earlier too, wanting to make sure that when you are investing in things like Bitcoin or into any of these altcoins, that you're just making sure that when you are putting your money into it, it's not something that you necessarily have to use to survive. With any type of trading, make sure that you're only trading money that you are willing to lose. Because people who might have dumped a lot of money into Bitcoin on Thursday thinking that it would hit 50,000, because a lot of people were saying, oh, it could hit 50,000 by the end of the week. It did the exact opposite. So imagine putting in like $10,000, and it's not a huge percentage because the number is so high, but imagine putting a lot of money into Bitcoin thinking that it would go parabolic, and then that number like not playing out how you expected.
And I wouldn't put a number on it because $10,000 to one person isn't $10,000 to another. So
True.
yeah,
True.
because 10,000 to one person might be life changing, while $10,000 to another person might be like, dang, I lost. You see what I'm saying? But it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't put a number on it because everybody's pockets are different.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I feel like you should not put something that you need to survive into Bitcoin or something, or even like I feel like putting half your portfolio in there is crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, as Ashawn said, be mindful that there is a chance that you could lose it. It's never 100% that something is going to do numbers in a good way. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just be mindful.
Yeah. FDIC insured does not mean that if the ETF you put your money in and goes down, you're gonna get your money back. It just means if somehow your money gets, something happens to your money outside of the flow of the stock market. I don't want people to also imagine, oh, well, my money is secure now that I'm putting in this ETF. You could still lose your money if the ETF does not go how you would like it to go. So yeah, but that's with anything, with any type of investment. Just make sure that you understand your risk tolerance. Cornell, you said it best. Everyone's pockets are different. My risk is different than your risk. Your risk is different than pretty much everyone else's risk. You can't base it. You can't base what you trade off of what someone else is doing at all. Make sure that you are running your own race and understanding what you're risking whenever you do invest in anything, especially with something as volatile as Bitcoin. And we see how volatile it is. 5 years ago, it was at $3,000. Now it's at 42,000. Like
So,
that's not, you know what I mean? That's
so let
just
me
like
ask you. Let me ask you something, man. Where do you
what's
feel
up.
like Bitcoin's going to be by the end of this year?
I think that Bitcoin can be somewhere upwards of 75,000 by the end of the year. Yeah, I imagine that Bitcoin could be somewhere right around there. I think it's gonna take its hits because like that's just how investments work. Buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't think it's gonna go much lower than 40,000 though, honestly. I don't think so. I feel like with the ETF getting approved, you probably had people who were in Bitcoin for a long time seeing it get pumped up. Maybe they decided to sell and bring in some of their gains, and that's what brought a immediate downturn. And then everyone who probably purchased Bitcoin was like, "Oh, maybe this is not a bad idea," and they took their immediate investment. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but I feel like that the drop that happened on Thursday, Friday will only slightly happen a little bit more, but then later through the year, February, March, we're going to see that increase, especially as we come to the Bitcoin halving.
Man,
What happens then, I don't know, because that is literally like a buy the rumor. It could be a buy the rumor, sell the news, like you mentioned. And in what is it, May? I think you said when that happens.
I think it's like
April.
May or June, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact time,
yeah.
but
So
all I
May,
know is
June.
it's mid-year.
Mm-hmm. Maybe whenever that does happen this year, it could be another, drop, slight drop. I don't know. But I think Bitcoin will be higher by the end of the year than it is right now. That's
Yeah,
what I think.
and yeah, Bitcoin has been outperforming the market.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like last year it went up what like 170%, something crazy like that. So basically, you would have almost triple whatever you put in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're saying that the Bitcoin halving is expected to occur April 2024. So I was wrong. It's sooner than I thought.
April 24th. Dang.
That's what this is saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is yeah, IG.com for
Well, there you go.
they're
If
saying April.
it's definitely looking to happen this year. And it sounds like it's going to be right around somewhere in the second quarter.
Yeah, this one says May.
Okay.
Zen. So different websites are saying different things, but yeah, around mid this year it's supposed to be halving, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to be a huge event with cryptocurrency. So check it out. Don't break the bank trying to get it. Don't refinance your home to put the equity into Bitcoin and have you and your kids on the street. But
Man.
you know, uh just take that information and do what you will with it while, staying safe.
Please, yeah, stay safe. But yeah, that is the big news that has happened. Spot Bitcoin ETF is available. If you haven't looked into it, there are currently 11 ETFs from various, I guess, brokerages. I know Fidelity is one, BlackRock is another, and there's a couple other ones that I haven't heard of before. But yeah, there are currently 11. Have you seen the names of these? Like one of them is called HODL, like like the whole.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
It's like the actual ticker. It's HODL. I'm like, wow. It's crazy how communities can literally just reshape people's people's wanting to, like, even with the change of Meta, like that becoming their new name, and then same with Square changing its name, and yeah, it's a very influential time for sure. And I guess it's always been like that. Like people get influenced, companies get influenced, but it feels like now it's more of the people definitely have a say. It seems like people definitely have a say in what kind of dictates how a lot of these big businesses decide to stay hip. I don't even know if that's the right word, but stay relevant.
The thing is do you feel like it's like that because it seems like that because we're paying attention to it now, or do you feel like this is something that is new?
It might. Oh, I get what you're saying. You mean like because we are actually focused on these businesses, looking at them and how they change.
Right.
Has it always been like that before we were focused on? You might be right. I have no idea, because it's very possible that businesses have always just been influenced by the people, because that's how businesses work, right? It's always the customers, right? Because if they're not making money off of the people that they're servicing, then what are they doing? And to service the people, they have to, one, get fillers out, make sure that what they're doing is working, make sure that what they're doing is popular, or that what they're doing is hip, and that really that their main consumer in essence agrees with them, because all of it, yeah. So
and I feel like they have to do that, like even with kind of, I don't want to say exploiting, but like with like Black History Month or Hispanic Heritage Month. You see what I'm saying? They come out with things that we would be drawn to. I don't think it's always because, oh, I really feel a strong sense of supporting this community. It's like I can really capitalize off of these people. That's really just what makes sense. I feel like companies adapt to what's going on and they capitalize off of it.
Yeah, they definitely that. I agree with you 100% on that one. Not every company is so genuine. A lot of times they're just doing the things that they do because they don't want to seem like the company that doesn't care. So they put acts on to, kind of make sure that, hey, look, don't forget that we also did this great thing for you guys during Black History Month, or especially a lot of it was, with the, and I know we're kind of going on a tangent a little bit, but with the whole George Floyd thing, so many companies were making changes. And I don't know how many of those company changes have stuck, but I know now it just seems like a lot of people are kind of trying to get rid of the entire diversity thing, like in their company. This is like a complete 180 from what was happening a couple years ago. You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah.
So I think that we pretty much got everything out that we needed to. What do you think?
No, I agree with you, man. I agree. But before we end, bro, let them know where they can find us, bro.
Y'all can find us on Instagram and YouTube at Investors Playbook LLC. You check out our website. We have all our links of social media. We have our community on there. It's a really dope website. Our book can also be attained from there with a link to the book. www.investorsplaybookllc.com. Check us out.
You go. All right, man. Episode 20 in the books.
20 weeks in. We appreciate y'all.
Wow. Have a good one.